folks. Hello. If you would like to fill in and take some seats, we still have some seats available. We're so glad you all are here.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started pretty soon. We're good. It is so good. It's so good to see the room packed. I've been hearing people say I've never seen a groundbreaking this large in size, and so it's so wonderful to see you all here for this vision. 90 years ago, on January 29th, members of the Stetson and DeLand community, they gathered to dedicate the beautiful edifice that is the Lincoln Hulley Tower. And today, we gather again for a different reason, but to break ground on a place that has held much significance and symbolism for joy, unity, and remembrance at Stetson and Greater DeLand. Indeed, it has served and will continue to serve as a symbol for the soul of Stetson. A tower that once stood 116 feet tall and later brought to its foundation after multiple hurricanes in 2004 now comes alive again. A testament to our resilience in the face of troubling storms in our personal lives, on the institutional level, and in our world. When we are knocked down, we get back up again. And so is the case in this grassroots movement called the Soul of Stetson to return to its glory, the Lincoln Hulley Tower, and to add the pavilion that will make space for us to gather, to celebrate, and to remember together in community. And with this in mind, I invite you into a posture of prayer to begin our time together. Holy One of creation, today we glory in forms of dirt and rock, to be shaped from a vision to honor a history and build a future. At the beginning, we see the form, the shape of what might be, working what we cannot yet know, and building what many have not yet seen. As we build, guide us and allow us to set our hopes not on the edifice itself, but upon the energy, the pride, the joy that buoyed us to this special day at Stetson. As we restore this blessed place, this holy ground, restore in us always a sense of community, a sense of love and justice, a sense of peace and friendship. May those who walk this ground find peace here, find joy here, find belonging, so that we may declare it is good. And together with those before and after, be grateful. Let it be so. Ashe and Amen. I now turn it into the hands of Jordan Bassett, who is a senior percussion major here at Stetson University. Let's receive Jordan at this time.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Beautiful. Wow. Wow. This is really, really extraordinary. And it just absolutely warms my heart as Stetson's 10th president to be part of this Solo Stetson movement and to see all of you here, students, DeLand residents, alumni, local and regional officials and legislators. It's really extraordinary. And it really is truly heartwarming to see all of you here today for this very, very special occasion. I do need to welcome a few very special guests. First, Kim Rolke is here. It truly is a family affair when you become a university president. Kim, thank you. The Soul of Stetson Steering Committee. Can you all wave? Soul of Stetson Steering Committee folks that have been part of that? We also have many Board of Trustees members here today. Would you please wave and be acknowledged? Now, this might mean lots of people are going to wave, but there is also several members of various leadership advisory boards. Will you also wave and please be recognized? Thank you for being here. Also, we have some local and regional government officials. We have in the house this afternoon, DeLand Mayor Chris Cloudman. We have with us DeLand City Manager Michael Ployce. And from the State Representative's Office, Duncan Dimash is here. I'm sure we may have missed some folks, but please know that we value your service a great deal. We also have another very special guest. Stetson's First Lady for 22 years, from 1987 to 2009. Let's give a shout out to Margaret Lee. Margaret and I had a chance to talk briefly before this ceremony, and I said to her, and I really mean this, that if Kim and I can accomplish just a fraction of what you and Doug accomplished at Stetson University, we will feel that we have served the community well. So thank you. Thank you. Members of my president's cabinet is here. They're here. They're in the house. They deserve a lot of. Anything that goes right is their responsibility. Anything that doesn't go right is my responsibility. They are amazing. We also have with us Linda Glover Barnett, president of West Fallujah Historical Society, who are incredible partners with Stetson. And her husband, Stetson Professor Steve Barnett, who is the founder of our Stetson Innsbruck Summer Program. Also in the house are two amazing folks that you will know, Jim and Joan Beasley. Jim is retiring from Stetson after more than 50 years of service. The Beasleys are a true Stetson power couple. Yes. And most importantly, because that's what this place is all about, we see dispersed throughout here our current Stetson students. Stetson students, thank you for being here. We believe in you. We are investing in you. Go Hatters! Thank you all so very much for being here. You've all contributed in a variety of ways It is my honor and privilege to be here as your 10th president. May the soul of Stetson live on peacefully and in harmony, and moving this wonderful, wonderful university from Florida gem to national treasure. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a true honor to be able to be here with you today and to celebrate this special occasion with you. I'm Scott Thacker. I oversee planning and construction here at the university. I'm pleased to recognize and thank our design and construction partners who have helped us get to where we are. Many of whom are here with us participating in this event. Hunt & Brady Architects, RJ Heisenbottle Architects, Zev Cohen and Associates, Core Construction, the Williams Company, and Stetson's project manager, Ethan Burrows. I also want to thank Langford Funeral Home, who interred Mrs. Eloise Hulley in 1959 and will be caring for the remains of Dr. Lincoln and Mrs. Eloise Hulley during construction. I also acknowledge the $500,000 historic preservation grant that we received from the state of Florida. And of course, thank the city of DeLand for their ongoing support for this and many other projects on campus. Later this week, we will begin to carefully remove the historical elements from what remains of the Hulley Tower base. These elements will be reused in the construction of the tower, after which we will see helical piles begin to be driven into the ground about 40 feet so that the new tower is able to really withstand the test of time and have the strength and the foundation that it needs. The tower will then really begin in earnest. After graduation in May, we'll see a crane mobilized to the site, structural steel will be erected, and then the tower will be clad with brick, stone, and other elements that match the original tower built in 1934. When completed later this year, the exterior of Hulley Tower will look like an exact replica of what the tower originally looked like, with, of course, an interior structure that will stand for many, many years to come. In closing, I express deep appreciation to Bob McClellan, Stetson alumnus, who has partnered with us during this project. His participation and input during the design process has helped us to get to where we are today. It's been a true pleasure to develop relationships with many Stetson alum throughout this process, whose love for the university has really made this come about. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Yes, I'm Bob McClellan, a Sigma Nu fraternity pledge brother of Scotty Finland, and was a pretty good social friend of both Katie Resnick and Dennis Long back in the day. So it's a privilege to be here, but those were lives that were just cut short much too soon. And so this project, get a little kind of teared up a little bit, but it's very personal to me. And, you know, Scotty was a close friend, and just, it was such a tragic situation. And so to be able to be part of this so many years later it's a true honor. We've been led by Jet Barber and Karen Roberts on our committee, and the indomitable Jill Jinks, who just, you can't say no to Jill. So this project is just, it's been awesome to be a part of and see a lot of my alumni friends from our era roll up their sleeves and really make things happen. What I'd also like to just say that I think as you heard, there's multiple committees that have been involved in this effort. And each committee member brought something very special to our group. And so I'm a construction guy, but we had attorneys, we had landscape architects, we had more attorneys, but it really was a special that they were able to contribute in a way and then work hand in hand with faculty and staff. And we said a number of times throughout the process, but this is really, truly, hopefully a model as Stetson continues to grow and do future projects, that just having that alumni engagement hand in hand with faculty and staff can really make a difference. Your checks make a difference too, but your expertise as well. So, you know, go Greek. It's great to see everybody here, and thank you so much.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chris Cloudman, Mayor of the City of DeLand. And on behalf of the city, I just want to express our gratitude and our congratulations for restoring a piece of history. The university and the city have had a storied past and history together. And, you know, for many, many decades, the town got to enjoy the sounds and the sight of this tower, and to restore not only the visual, but the audible experience for many to come in the future is a wonderful thing. I had the opportunity to stand right next to the vibraphone as she was playing, and so I counted numerous times to make sure I was correct. And believe it or not, this tower will have more notes that are on that instrument. And so imagine the possibilities of what can be played through that tower. On a personal note, growing here in Volusia County and spending time in DeLand on Stetson's campus, I had the pleasure of being able to hear that tower once upon a time. And when my wife and I moved back from the Tucson area with a 2-year-old in tow, the shadow of that tower was much shorter, and there was no longer the beautiful sounds. And so for us, it's exciting to know that our daughter will be attending Stetson come this fall. And during her time on this campus, she will also get to hear the sounds of that tower as she's running to class or doing whatever activity she happens to do. So we're grateful to know that. And so congratulations again. And on behalf of the city, we couldn't be more proud to see this rise from the ground back up into the skies of DeLand.
Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. It's really terrific to have such a great turnout. My name's Jeff Barber. I'm co-chair of the steering committee for this project, and I'd like to make some comments here to you today. Today, we take the first step in creating a tangible memorial to the 3 Stetson students that we lost on January 15, 1979. Scotty Finland, Katie Resnick, and Dennis Long. This tower, the bells and the music that they will create will honor them for many, many years to come. While Scotty, Katie, and Dennis are gone, their family members remain, and they cherish their memories. I'd like to say a few words on behalf of the families. Scotty was my first cousin. He grew up in Thomasville, Georgia, and I'm from Jacksonville, so geographically and otherwise, our families were very close. He was all like a brother to me. I came to Stetson, and Scotty followed the next year. He joined the Sigma Nu fraternity, where I was already a brother, so at that point in time, we became fraternity brothers. His parents are gone now, but Hulley Tower means a lot to his 2 brothers, Rick and Mark, and his sister Laurie, and their children, who will never and have never been able to meet their Uncle Scotty. Katie Resnick was a beautiful and vibrant Stetson student. She joined the Pi Beta Phi sorority here. And if you've seen the documentary, you've heard from her sister Kim and her sorority sisters about the caring and giving person that she was. She was loved and respected by all who knew her. She was truly a role model for her sorority sisters and friends. Dennis Long was from Louisville, Kentucky, and a brother in the Delta Sigma Phi fraternity. He was president of that fraternity that year, and that's how I got to know him, as I was the commander or president of the Sigma Nu fraternity. Also, as demonstrated in the documentary, Dennis was fun-loving and a true leader who was liked and respected by everyone. Clay Long, his brother, has come to visit us and be here today from Louisville. On behalf of the 3 families, I can say that the rebuilding of Hulley Tower is very meaningful to them and very much appreciated. Hulley Tower will now forever be a memorial to these 3 students, to all Stetson students who we have lost, and to the enduring soul of Stetson. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As Jeff said, and this is overwhelming to see this wonderful group. And I thank you, each and every one of you, for taking the time to be here today. My name is Susan Brockway, and my husband, Peter Brockway, and I are both Stetson alums and are so happy to be a part of this meaningful project for Stetson. Our hope is that this new space on campus will give Stetson an attractive area for student and community programming, as the Bells of Stetson will call all together to celebrate our rich history and a vibrant community. I was in Innsbruck, Austria in January 1979 and on the mountain with my Stetson classmates the day of the avalanche. I was on the lower portion of the ski slope at the time of the avalanche, and thank God was not hurt and was able to help search for those that were buried. I lived through this tragedy. I returned to Stetson. I finished my last semester. And like many of us on the trip, I graduated in 4 months, and life rapidly progressed with a career and a family. When I received a phone call nearly 44 years later from my classmate, Jill Jinks, who too was on the mountain that fateful day, I knew her call and our conversation was truly a God moment. For several years, my heart had been yearning to return to Innsbruck. I wanted Katie, my Pi Phi sister, and Dennis and Scotty to be remembered at Stetson. Jill proposed that now was the time that we and all of Stetson remember this important and forgotten event. And I knew I wanted to be involved in this project. Thus, the journey began, and I'm here today to remember and to celebrate so many things that connects each of us to Stetson. For those of us that were in Innsbruck and part of the avalanche story, it's an especially joyful day. We are standing up Hulley Tower, bringing bells that are being cast in Innsbruck, Austria, to Stetson University to ring for our loved classmates whom we lost, and we are building a beautiful gathering space that can be enjoyed by current and future students. My heartfelt appreciation to everyone who has supported this project, most especially my loving husband.
Hi, my name is Mildred Spalding. I attended Stetson for 2 years, then transferred to University of Georgia. While here, I was a Sigma Nu little sister and on the tennis team. Today is about finally honoring Katie, Scotty, and Dennis on the Stetson campus with a fitting memorial. They represented the very best of Stetson. They were leaders, scholars, and athletes. They were also very fun to be with on our trip for a month. I want to first thank the 70 rescuers from Innsbruck, Austria, for their very heroic efforts to save everyone that day. They rushed to the top of C Group in just under 15 minutes. I would not be standing here today if not for them, as I was the last one to be found alive. 3 years ago, I got an invite to go to Innsbruck with Stetson University. I just couldn't believe it. I lost touch for 45 years. My husband, John, and I went, and thus began a great journey for me. I met Amy, Rena, the Rolkes, the Tishners, the filmmakers, Brandon, Will, and Aaliyah, and many other people in the Stetson family. We met current students and attended class. I reconnected with Jill, Susan, Karen, and Stuart from our trip. We visited C Group one day, and I was able to thank in person the rescuers. This was a life-changing event for the rescuers also. We hiked up to the top where we lost our friends. It was a beautiful day to look back. The trip brought back many memories for me, good and bad. It has been an honor to serve on the Soul of Stetson committee with Jep, Karen, Jill, Susan, Sydney, Bob, Michelle, Rena, Becky, and Charles. I hope I'm not leaving anyone out. and our very thoughtful leader, Amy. Jill and I hosted an event in Atlanta, which brought together alums and family after a very long time. Some alums had not gathered with Stetson friends for like 45 years. I was glad to finally meet some of the family members. And it was the first time the families of Katie, Scotty, and Dennis were together. I would like to thank everyone in this room who helped make this happen today. I would like to thank my family and a very close friend, Ward Bondurant, who honored me with a fire pit and gathering area and my friends. And I would like to thank Stetson for helping me reconnect with the university and my alumni friends and rebuild the tower for our beloved classmates.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Eisold, and I have the honor of speaking to all of you today as the student body president. I want to take a moment to reflect on the incredible progress we're making as a university. Right behind Libby Lawn, we have an incredible new construction underway on a brand new state-of-the-art residence hall. Stetson is growing strong, not just in numbers, but also in quality and excellence. Our campus continues to attract outstanding new students, faculty, and staff who are enriching the Stetson experience. And soon again, we'll hear the beautiful, joyful bells ringing across campus, a reminder of our history, our traditions, and our bright future ahead. Hulley Tower stands tall as a symbol of legacy, one that we, as students, will contribute to as we transition into alumni. It represents not just the past, but the lasting impact of each generation that we leave behind. With this legacy comes both the responsibility and honor of supporting Stetson and its future students, ensuring that our traditions and values continue to thrive. This restoration serves as a powerful connection between past and present, inviting current students and younger alumni to embrace and take pride in Stetson's rich history. Stetson students will gather in this beautiful space, not just for events, but for something far more meaningful. This will be a space of celebration, a place where our community comes together to reflect, honor, and support one another. In times of joy, it will strengthen our bonds, and in times of sorrow, it will be a sanctuary where we will stand together and find comfort as one. This project is more than just a physical space. It is a testament to the Stetson spirit, one that continues to resonate through time, just like the bells themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. I'm John Titchener. I'm a professor of management, and I'm very fortunate to be the co-director of the Innsbruck program, along with my wife, Professor Mercedes Titchener, in the education department. She grew up in Bavaria, just right over the mountain from Innsbruck, and so it's like going back home. We've been fortunate to be going there for 20 plus years, and here are my colleagues, junior colleagues, who've been my teaching apprentices and were the student leaders over there this past summer, and this is the second summer that they were there. They led many of you up the mountain to the plaque that we were able to dedicate on Seagrove that has Scotty, Dennis, and Katie's name. People of Innsbruck and Austrians, they take their mountains very seriously. And just to be able to put a plaque up, that was a big deal. That was a very big deal. So I hope that many of you all get to see that plaque someday. It's sort of a pilgrimage, and I want many of you to take that. When I think about this project and what is going on with it, I think of the word inheritance. We have a great inheritance at Stetson. I inherited this project from Steve Barnett. Steve inherited from Joe Master. I remember over there many years ago, we were up on the area where there's a nice statue of Andreas Hofer, and Steve was telling me about this accident that occurred and how the people of Innsbruck gathered around the Stetson students, but I didn't know a whole lot about it until a conversation about 3 years ago. I'll get very emotional. I start talking about that. So we do have a great inheritance. It's going to go on. It's not just about Dennis Katie and Scotty. It is about them, but it's about the future. It's about all these students here. It's about the students that will come beyond. And so I want these students to tell a little bit about what the project means to them. So Joe and John.
Hey y'all, my name is Joe and this is my brother John. We're the student leaders, and one thing for me that I think was my favorite thing about the project was the documentary. I think y'all did such a good job. It was awesome. And I think it was really cool. I think about 2 years ago, the first documentary came out. It was awesome. And then another version came out and more of the story was slowly connecting. And I think that was awesome to see the story just fully just connect. It was awesome to me. Secondly, I just want to say how thankful I am to be a part of this project. I'm honored. This is just a great thing. And I want to give a big thanks to Dr. Titchener and Dr. Jill Jinks. I think y'all have done such a great job, and I'm so excited to see this tower built. It's going to be awesome.
I'm John. I totally agree with everything Joe just said. I'd also like to add my own thanks to Dr. Titchener and Dr. Jinks and everyone else who supported this movement. You all showed Joe and me what it means to lead with your values. And you gave us a real life example of transformational leadership. And that was really special for us. Further, when Joe and I speak about this project with each other, which we do a lot, we're always together. And when we're talking about this project, there's a lot of things that make it worthwhile and valuable. But sort of the foundational element behind it all is this collective sense of community. That's community from the students to the professors to the alumni to the students' families. We're all interconnected. And building this tower, it not only reaffirms Stetson's commitment to that community, it gives us a chance to recognize our inherent value and to not let our stories be lost to time. And with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jill Jinks.
I don't think I can do this. I can do it because of the courage from the mountain. Words, moments, places, people. That's all this is. It's magic. This is probably my 300th draft of this moment. I don't know how we got here. I don't know where we're going, but I'm a sailor, so it doesn't matter. I've pondered this moment every day since we had a collective yes to this journey. I've framed it, I've structured it, I've toned it, and I've colored it. And today is the day. What will I say? I come back to some words. What? Why? How? Now and next. Remember, I went to public schools in the city of Atlanta, so they have to be kind of short words. No peripatetic. Rarely do we get to be a part of something bigger than us. And in this case, much bigger than us. And the metaphor is not lost on me how this started in an unfamiliar place. And it found its way to now. An avalanche on an Austrian Alp that shocked everyone. It took the lives of Katie, Scotty, and Dennis, and it produced a profound and everlasting love from that. It seems odd to me to think of it that way. And today, we acknowledge a milestone that drew its energy and joy from the darkness of that moment on Mount Seagroup. And then I realized it is the darkness that reveals the stars. When I was a freshman, sitting in an orientation meeting on the Tuesday of my first week here at Stetson in 1975, Dean Etta Turner, everybody breathe, was standing on the stage in the chapel, and she was guiding us through her expectations and hopes for us. She waved her hand around the chapel and asked us to look around because half of us would marry someone in the room. I looked down. I was too shy, too guarded, and too focused. That was next. I was here for now. And over the 4 years, I actually did look around. And what I've now come to realize is she was right. I came to love everyone in that chapel. I came to love a place. I came to love its purpose. And when that moment in Austria tapped me on the shoulder and said, "It's time, and you will need help," I knew what to do. And I knew why. When I reached out to all of you, your eyes gleamed. You flashed a hint of a smile, and you said yes. You know your own what and your own why. And we pondered when we pondered the how, we didn't care. We knew what and why. So today is a day, another moment in the whats and whys of our lives. It's a day about now, not next. It's a day where we walk over to the Hulley sandbox and we play in the dirt. We grab a cup full of that dirt and we take it home and we plant something in it. The Hulley sandbox will soon again become part of the Stetson sandbox. Today is the partial fulfillment of each of our what and why conversations. How really has no seat at the table. It always reveals itself on its terms and timing, like it did here. And in the end, how always begins and ends with our love for each other. Dean Turner, a wise and demanding leader, was right. Look around. You already know you love everyone in this place. I hope that will be part of Hulley Tower story. And those bells last 1,000 years. Love is infinite in all its dimensions. Hulley Tower is our place of love. And yes, everything you need is already inside you for your what and your why. So let's go play in the dirt. Because now is now, next can wait its term. So I hope you will join me in celebrating this with a singing of our alma mater and beating on the bells. Thank you all.
Please stand and join us. Find the lyric in your bulletin.
Magic. Absolutely beautiful. We would like to invite everyone now to go outside and play in some dirt. We have about 4 or 5 sets of staged photos that we want to get with some of the groups. And then we want to open up to everyone to take a shovel and get a photo and play in the dirt. So thank you all for being here. It means so much. See you outside.